Do you know how far you've came? I'm proud of you. You don't even understand. Like, I'm starting to believe you guys are just powerful in the case. This is basically what I want to describe you guys. I couldn't really think of it, but my confession has came out, man. I believe you guys are fearless. You know, the way you're holding on to yourself, I'm almost surprised. But if you guys want the truth, right, here it is, man. I believe that us people as a whole are very powerful as a whole group. I feel like we can get through this all together because I really believe in you guys. Number one, I think about it as in it's not about being loud or aggressive. It's about having control, confidence, and clarity that really shows in yourself, the growth and everything. Number two, it's not about letting people define you. It's about how you define yourself in that factor. You don't have to rely on nobody. I promise you guys. Last but not least, I see it as in, I want to teach you guys how to respond instead of reacting. Sometimes it's not always best to respond in that case, but it's like you guys do not have to really like put yourself out there all the time, just whenever it's possible. You don't have to grab a chance. It's always good to let back, let things flow, but that's the power in you guys. You guys will learn how to manage it as it goes on. Being powerful doesn't mean I never feel weak. It means I know how to rise every time I fall and still keep moving like I never missed a step. But being fearless means doing it even though you're scared. Real ones know that fear is a part of growth, but you don't let it hold the pen in your story. You don't. It's about taking risk even though chances not might be guaranteed in that factor. And you'll see it as and if things go on in the place, you grow with your own fear. You're not letting it guide you, but you're directed with it. Like it's beside of you, it's on the side of you, and you're just maneuvering around it as in you're getting used to it and all. So if fear ever talks to me, I talk back louder. I don't wait to feel ready. I get in the ring and make it happen. But for example, being powerful and fearless comes from your mindset, the challenges you faced in life, and the vision you have for that future goal. Things may escalate towards that destination, but it's like a ladder. You go through the ups and downs of it throughout the whole journey, and that's where it comes from. Just know, chat, it doesn't come overnight. It all takes time. I faced through challenges myself when it comes from being out here in this world, from doing tests when it comes to school, when you're getting that 3-point shot at the buzzer beater, things like that. It all escalates when it comes to it, but it's like it's not really hard once you're in the middle of it. It just comes into it once it's like when you're in the motion. It all takes time, which we all know it as in, but it's like all it is that you fight with it as in you're into it, but you don't want to be scared of it. You have to get into it. You have to be motivated just to be there, disciplined just for the action, and then just driven by your actions. Driven in that case, driven based off of how you moved and how you went up in that case. Understand this, chat. How to tap into that energy, right? Gotta take a second to breathe. You do not have to ask for any permission at all. Like, I wouldn't really tell you to stop because it might feel great in that moment. Like it's like a dopamine feeling, but you don't have to ask for any permission just to be great, just to be yourself. It starts by you believing in your ideas and standing on what you believe. It could be a whiteboard on like what this information is about, but however you learn it based off of being physical, hands-on, reading this portfolio or breaking it down for yourself, learning the words throughout, that's how you visualize it in that case. You have to reinforce your strength. It comes from reinforcing your strength, journaling, you know, being disciplined and pushing past your limits. You escalate on as you push past your limits. You escalate further and further. You'd break a wall. You know, you would be surprised on how far you made it based on how far you've tapped deep into yourself and known how much you've probably didn't even know since the past. You know, you wish you could have learned it back then, but you took a chance just to learn it now, and you'll be surprised on how far it has taken you. So.
I remind myself daily, if I made it through what I've already been through, there's nothing ahead that can stop me now.
I have a question for you guys, chat. When's the last time you were afraid and you still decided just to go for it anyway? Hold on now. Because in that case, you know, for me, I would say probably not really every day, but every now and then, because of the fact that I'm pushing myself past limits. And I just see myself as in, you know, I give myself 1% better every day. So in that case, I can throw an example. I just had this job interview. It went well, but I kind of felt nervous at first. I got excited as I went on in the emotion, but it felt good at the end for the results. That's one. Number two, I have another question for you guys, Chad. When was the last time y'all felt powerful? Like, you know, say like when y'all were in the gym, you know, you were working out, you couldn't believe you pushed past this limit, this number, and you're just amazed by the results. Every now and then you look in the mirror, you see how great of a body you have, and there it is, simply your results speak for themselves. In that case though, Chad, you know, I can name plenty more, you know, just to be hilarious, I could say like I freestyled and I'm surprised by my results. I felt powerful based off of how my voice was performing. You know, that's because of the fact that I like to play music, so another thing to remind. But chat, I also need you guys just to throw in your guys' questions at the end. You know, that really make my day, but at the end of the day, understand this. The world moves how you move. Like, if you were to belong here, like, the world moves for those who move like they belong. Simpler than how I said it. Alright? I need you guys to be courageous, fearless, powerful. Be yourself. Always remind yourself to believe in your ideas. Stand on what you believe. You don't need permission from nobody, chat. I'm glad you guys have tuned in from this far. If you have not subscribed or followed or chatted anything, I don't know what you're doing. But I appreciate you for viewing this, you know. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Be fearless.